So this tutorial will be specific to the LFA tools, and I'm going to cover ways you can customize the LFA toolset to suit your pipeline. So aside from the obvious stuff like export directory, which is automatically saved to the Maya scene when you change it, the easiest way you can modify the LFA tools is to add your own controls to the menus or buttons. You can do this by dropping mel files into the appropriate directories. If you go to where the tools are stored in your Maya scripts directory and go to the LFA Scene Manager subdirectory, you'll see two directories called custom scripts. And if you want to add any buttons or menu items to the LFA tools, you can just drop mel scripts into them, and they'll be dynamically loaded as tools in the menus. You can see if I look in the directory here, they match perfectly with what's inside the LFA tools custom menu. And of course, if you want to remove them, you just remove the file. And it works the same with buttons. I made these two mel files, which just contain simple scripts that print the words out hello 1 and hello 2, and they're called button 1 and button 2. Let's drop them inside the custom scripts buttons directory. Reload the tools. There you go. Let's try them out. It's hello 1 and hello 2. They work. The other way you can customize the tools is by changing defaults. If we go back to the LFA Scene Manager directory, you can see a file called lfasettings.mel. Let's open it up. Here are all the defaults, including the automatic prefixes and suffix that the tools add to your .scene node names. So for example, when I print out a .scene, you can see by default I have it add the word node to every node to differentiate it from the entity name and possibly keep the name from colliding with anything else. Let's make our own prefix and suffix for nodes. The only thing to know about customizing this file is what it says up here. Don't modify it directly. So all we have to do is make a new file and call it lfa_user_settings.mel. Copy the ones we want to change. Now let's change the settings. Let's do prefix pre and suffix suff. And we have to restart Maya for these changes to take effect. So here we go. Let's export .scene. And there you go. And like this, you can change all of the defaults. You can change the default export directory in there, where the material include directory is. There's also some more .scene settings. Anyway, you can look in the file yourself to see all the options. There's a bunch. Now from this point on, I'm going to assume you're familiar with mel, and I'm going to go a little bit deeper. If you look under the hood of the LFA tools, you'll find that they're mostly modular chunks of mel and can be integrated into other systems or more complex setups without too much trouble. I'm going to go over the three easiest ways to do this. The first way is to tag and untag objects from outside the LFA tools. You simply use the functions LFA multiple make exportable and LFA delete export parameters. The arguments are the transform names you want affected, and these are just the commands issued by the corresponding buttons. The second way is if you want to add your own animation parameters from outside the LFA tools. It's extremely simple. All you have to do is add an attribute to the transform called export LFA_animation. And let's add some clips. If I get attribute on export LFA_animation on this object, you'll see that the animation parameters, you can see the format right here on the output. As you can see, it would be extremely simple to modify this yourself from outside the tools. The third way is to modify the user data reference from outside the LFA tools. And it's exactly the same as the animation settings, except the attribute is called LFA_user data reference. Let's add some user data to this object and see how it prints out. Let's just add some random stuff in here. Let's get attribute .lfa_user data reference. And there you go, very simple. The node and the entity data is simply separated by the %sign. Well, this was the last tutorial. Good luck with your projects, and I hope that my tools and tutorials help you.